guys, so I'm so excited for today's video because I'm doing an updated what I eat in a day vegetarian edition because you guys know I'm vegetarian. So let's get right into it, starting off with, of course, my morning coffee. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate when I say I literally cannot start my morning without my hot cup of coffee. So I always have to have this first thing in the morning. And as I'm having my coffee, I like to make breakfast for my husband and I. And today I'm going to be having some delicious oats. For this, you're going to need some oats, of course, granola, chia seeds, brown sugar, and of course, your favorite fruits. I like to use strawberries and blueberries, but you can literally use any fruit that you like. And last but not the least, you're also going to need almond milk. Again, you can substitute this with soy milk or regular milk, whatever you prefer. Then I like to go ahead and wash my fruit and cut it into like medium-sized pieces and then just set that aside. And then I like to start working on cooking my oatmeal. And I just like to let my milk warm up just a little bit. I add the oatmeal and let it cook for about 10 minutes. I also forgot to mention that I do add brown sugar here, but I totally forgot in this part of the video, so I added it later on. But I usually prefer to add it as the oatmeal is cooking. So once the oatmeal is done cooking, I just take it out, add my granola, blueberries, strawberries, chia seeds, and of course you guys will see me add brown sugar here, but I definitely recommend adding it as you're cooking the oatmeal itself. And that is really it, you guys. Not only does this look so delicious, it is actually really filling as well. Whenever I have like this huge oatmeal bowl, I don't get hungry until about like 12:30 in the afternoon. So I love how delicious and filling this breakfast is. And now let's move on to lunch. And I really honestly don't like having a heavy lunch. I like to keep it really light. So today I'm just making a sandwich for myself. And for that, you're going to need bread, mozzarella cheese, spinach, tomato, olive oil, balsamic vinegar. Usually I like to use pesto, but I didn't have any, so I'm just using the cilantro salad dressing from Trader Joe's, and of course salt and pepper. So you're gonna want to start off by slicing your tomatoes really thin, and you're only going to need about 2 or 3 slices for one sandwich. Also slicing your mozzarella cheese, and then it's literally just putting the the sandwich together. So I like to start off with my spinach, mozzarella cheese, my tomato, then I go right on top, add my salt and pepper, finishing it off with olive oil, balsamic vinegar. I wish I had my pesto, but I didn't, so I made it work with this cilantro salad dressing, which is still very yummy. I actually prefer more on sandwiches versus salads. And that's really it for this sandwich. If you find it to be too light and not filling enough, you can go ahead and make like a side salad. Sometimes I'll do that as well, but usually I like a very light lunch, so this is perfect. And then around 4 o'clock, I always have to have a snack. So I love either eating like these nut thin crackers and this delicious goat cheese. It's really low in calories and tastes amazing. I also love to snack on prunes and dried mangoes. I don't know what it is, but I feel like this literally tastes like candy, and it's just the most perfect snack. Okay, now it is time for dinner, and for dinner I usually like to make Indian food, but today I decided to make a little pita pizza and a side salad. So I'll show you guys how to make that. So you want to start off by preheating your oven to 350 degrees, and for the pizza you're going to need pita bread, marinara sauce, feta cheese, and vegetables of your choice. I'm using green peppers, cherry tomatoes, spinach, and onions, but like I said, you can add or remove any vegetable that you like or don't like. And then you want to go ahead and just chop up your veggies into medium-sized pieces. You don't want them to be too small or too big because of course these are going to be the pizza toppings. So now let's get right into making the actual pizza. I like to start off by spreading my marinara sauce on the pita bread, and I don't like too much sauce, so just a little bit for me. And then of course I like to go ahead and add all of my veggies, starting off with the spinach, the cherry tomatoes, the green peppers, the onions. So you can see I only like a little bit of onion, but if you like more, feel free to add more. You're also going to go ahead and top off by adding feta cheese and some salt and pepper, and then just stick this in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. You want to make sure you don't leave it on any longer than that. But while that is cooking, I like to go ahead and also make a side salad, and this is very simple. So you're just going to need arugula, blood orange, and for the actual dressing you're going to need scallion, lemon, olive oil, salt, and pepper. This is like the easiest salad dressing, but it's so yummy. By the way, if I said scallions before, I actually meant shallots, but you want to start off by dicing your shallots into really small little pieces and then add your lemon juice. I did use the full lemon and about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then of course salt and pepper to taste, and just mix all the ingredients together and your dressing is good to go. You're also going to go ahead and chop up the blood oranges into really small pieces. Add that to your arugula and just throw in your dressing and your salad is good to go. So refreshing, so yummy, so easy. So by the time my salad was done, so was my pita pizza. So yummy, so easy to make, and I promise you, once you try it once, you're going to want to make it over and over again. Now let's move on to the dessert. For this, you're going to need a banana, chocolate chips, and sliced almonds, but you can use any type of nuts you like. You want to just start off by peeling your banana and just slicing it into small little pieces. You can also use toothpicks to kind of hold up your banana pieces, but I just like to skip that altogether, but I have seen some people that like using toothpicks. Anyway, from there, you're just going to lay out parchment paper and put your bananas on there and leave it in the freezer for about 45 minutes to an hour. Honestly, 45 minutes is what I usually do. In the meanwhile, I did let my chocolate chips melt to this consistency here. Then I took out my bananas from the freezer and dipped them into the chocolate first, just like this, and then into the almonds. And you can honestly just eat the dessert as is, but I actually personally like to stick it back in the freezer for another 45 minutes, and when you take it out, it's like this delicious banana chocolate nutty goodness. It's so yummy, and you can make these in bulk as well. So yeah, that's really it for what I eat in a day. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.